Hey darlings, how you all doing tonight? Or better still, how you all doing today? So I'm your host for tonight's True Talk Show. I'm a very honest stylist, CC. Right. Thank you all for coming. Thank you all for joining tonight's session. Thank you all. If you're new here, thank you for coming. And if you're old here, thank you for returning back. So tonight we're having the session with Ushe, the legend himself, Ushe Odoputa. So this is what you guys have ever waited for and wanted, right? So let's get it started. While you're waiting for him, I'm still going to wait for more of you to come. So thank you. Yeah, we have him here with us now. I don't know. Okay. So we get started. Okay. So hope you all are good from wherever you're streaming from. Right, darlings. And hope you guys can hear me clearly.
What am I saying, you guys? Hello?
On duty, you'll be sanctioned. You'll be sanctioned. Welcome on board.
Thank you.
Hey.
I like to see. How are you?
I'm beautiful. Thank you, sir.
You know, I'll tell you what. We've been waiting for, we ordered this dinner.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for it. I was praying that the dinner comes on time before this life starts. And the dinner just got here. And your life is starting. I feel so bad. But don't worry.
You should turn the camera.
Huh?
Maybe you can turn the camera off and eat while I'm talking.
No. I won't do that. That would be rude to my audience.
It's going to be so messy.
Yeah, I know.
You said.
All right, good evening, people. Wherever you're joining us from, we want to say thank you and a happy Easter. Bye-bye.
So, thank you once again for coming online. Thank you for joining this session. Everyone has been anticipating to hear and to see you. And someone like, Uncle Ushe, really?
What did you do to your face? Is this filter? You're looking very somehow today. Even your eye be like English winch. I'm sorry, you fine. That's not what it's not what I wanted to say that came out of my mind. Forgive me.
What happened? I'm not looking like me or what? Let me go and let me look for a bit.
You're fine. First, I'd like to apologize to the audience. I'm in a family house and I have got kids, so we'll be hearing a little bit of their noise in the house. So you guys will manage us, okay?
Sure, they will.
All right.
Someone is smiling here. So this uncle has mouth too. Okay, Uncle Ushe Odoputa, can you please tell us about you?
Okay. My name is simply Uchenna Odoputa, and primarily I'm an actor and a filmmaker. I'm an Igbo man. I'm a proper Igbo man. I'm a traditionalist. And I'm a family man. I believe in the core values of tradition. I'm a title holder in Igbo land. So I'm also a philanthropist. I've got a foundation. It's called the Uche Adopter Foundation. We take care and look after some less privileged widows and children within some communities in Nigeria, my zone, and some other places. We go out to reach out to people in the little way we can. That's it.
Okay. So, would you say since I think it's 22 years now of acting
Say,
or 25 years?
say
22
again?
years now in the industry, 23 to 25 years now in the movie industry.
Well, I'm as old as the movie industry itself. So if the movie industry is 25 years, then I'm 25 years. If it's 30 years, then I'm 30 years in the industry. Because we literally started the acting industry. Because
So,
the acting industry started with the film called, well, the phenomenon that we see today that we call Nollywood started with a film called Living in Bondage. About the same
yes.
year that Living in Bondage was done, Taboo was done. Immediately after that, same year, Evil Passion was done. And that was where I started. I started with Evil Passion. And after that, we did Circle of Doom. And the rest is the story that we're seeing today.
Wow. So, what would you say it's so unique about you? Did you have the mindset of becoming an actor from the early age? That what you studied while you were studying?
No, no, I didn't study acting. I started acting out of passion. I started acting because I saw people who I loved get into the field, and it was something that caught my attention. But I started acting way back as a young person when we did the then Pot of Life in Benin, you know, back in the early 80s, late 70s, you know, so 80s. That was when we did Pot of Life in Benin. From there, we did other telenovelas, and eventually came the advent of the Nollywood. And the man who is supposed to be, if we keep record very well, the godfather of Nollywood, Mr. Okechukwu Ogunjofo, he was called Polo, who played the character Polo in Living in Bondage, happens to be my uncle. So he was the man who God used to bring me into the industry, because then I wasn't supposed to be acting the role that I acted, but we're shooting a scene in a living room in somewhere in Okeano in Surulere back in the days. And there was an actor that was supposed to play that role and who wasn't giving it the best. And that was where I was. I didn't know that it was going to come out. I thought I was just saying it inside of me. I said, this guy is just messing up. This thing he's doing is not difficult to do now. Unknown to me that the director heard that thing. And all of a sudden, it was like where you had a crowd of people standing in front of you. At a point, the director looked to your side and there was like a wind coming and people were just giving parts until it got to me. And I was like, the director said, who said that? I started stuttering and was stammering. And the director said, no, say what you said. I said that I could do whatever that guy was doing, that he wasn't doing it very well. Behold, that was where I was given a trial. And that was how I started acting. And I took that role. And I got the role. And that was my story of in the entertainment.
Wow, that's beautiful. Like seriously, if someone had told you that movie was going to change you, like change your lifestyle that period, would you have believed it? Did you even plan on going to the location to start with?
Well, I was at the location as a guest because, and coincidentally, that particular scene was being shot in his living room. So I was just a guest and who was observing from the background what they were doing. So back to your question, if anybody has said to me that my life was going to take that turn from that particular atmosphere that day, from that particular moment that day, I may have not believed it. In as much as we hope for the better and we're praying for always the better, there's no way I would have known that would have been it. You know, and since that day till date, I have not had my personal life anymore. That was how I mortgaged my own personal life, because it's no longer what I like, it's what the people who are looking at Uche Doctor likes. I can no longer eat in Lagos. I can no longer buy bole on the street and be eating and walking around. I can no longer be drinking Coke and be walking on the street without anybody writing that out of context, So it was a whole lot, but then we thank God.
Wow. So, could you just please tell us something so touching? Like, since you started, how was the journey like for you? Was it easy after living in bondage to get in other movies, or
My brother, you're welcome.
was it?
Good evening, sir.
God bless you, sir.
It's nice meeting you.
My pleasure too, sir. Say that again, Sissy. You said, was it easy? What?
Like, was it easy, the struggle after the living in bondage? Was it easy for you to?
No, I wasn't in living in bondage. I was in Circle of Doom. I wasn't in living in bondage. Circle of
Doom.
Yeah.
Sorry, because I didn't see you living, but sorry, pardon me, my bad. In that Circle of Doom, after that, was it easy for you to get other roles? How do you feel? Do you start automatically feeling like this is me, this is my calling, or?
Well,
navigating maybe.
No. For me, it was fun. It was quite hectic at that time, because I remember in Lagos there were times that we used to trek all the way from Surulere to Festac to attend auditions. There were times that we used to go to a place called Ilogbo. Ilogbo is way off after Festac on your way to Badagry, where we used to go. Yeah, and Sam Loco was our director then, and where we could sleep like 4 or 5 of us in one room. It was fun. Do you understand? Because it was something that we enjoyed doing.
Do you understand me?
Yes, the love was there. For me, at that time, it wasn't really money. It wasn't really the fame. It was really a satisfaction. It was like a priest saying mass. It was like a pastor conducting service. So then, as much as it was difficult, like I could see now and say, oh, we went through a whole lot of stress. There's some jobs that we even did that we had negotiated for fees that ought to be paid and that wasn't paid. But we didn't deter us. It didn't stop us. We kept on pushing, So
wow.
I wouldn't say it was a lot of fun, but then we enjoyed it. We're happy. We're fulfilled.
That's good to know. Well, that brings me to the next question.
Okay.
How was it with you, Legend Ushe Adoputa, in your secular life and in the normal life?
Okay.
With strength and family, how do you relate? How do you combine these two? Being a professional, outsourced
the truth
back then,
the truth
and
is,
now.
The truth is, first is, I think my parents did a very good job. I must say.
Oh, could you tell us about it?
What I mean, they did a very good job is when a child is brought up from day one and you're brought up in the ways of a king, even when you see yourself as a pauper, there's that kingship inside of you still. And because you already know that the king is not just a king because he's a figurehead, the king is even the first servant of the society. The king is the first person that answers for the society. The leader is the first person that goes for the society. The leader is that person that puts himself down for the others to climb. So it didn't get to my head that, oh, I should be working like an actor. I should be talking like an actor. No. I just knew that, listen, a masquerade is not complete except it has the people that are dancing around it or singing around for the masquerade. So therefore, if you're just a masquerade with just you alone, then you're not fulfilled. So I now found out too that it takes you and them out there to make me who I am. So it didn't get to my head. It gives me the humility to know that I have to respect people. It gives me the decency to know that I have to appreciate people. It gives me the accuracy to also know that, listen, I'm a human being. You take it easy on me. Calm down. All right? This is that.
Is this a setup or what?
Ekme,
Brotherly.
where you now?
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
Go ya.
Hello, babe.
I just feel
Okpe,
you.
Okpe
Greetings.
now.
Okay, kere.
Yeah, my pomosa.
I will see.
Hello, babe.
Welcome, welcome.
Greetings, man.
All right, so yes, thank
So
God I
back
have
to
my
you.
younger brother here now.
Yes.
You know,
So you feel more relaxed or what?
so now having said that, all this put together, it didn't take away the original me from me. It didn't also make me to work with my head. It made me to understand too that everybody is important. You know that I'm just opportune. I'm just favored, and it could be anybody. It could be anybody. So I didn't ever take it personal. I didn't ever take it for granted that I'm the only one that is blessed. No way. That's what kept me going.
So, in the time of working, like within this period, for instance, how did you handle the situation of a director you know too well you were good for this job, and the director comes and say to you, yeah, if you must be in this role, if you must take this role, so and so, so and so has to be changed. Like the director coming to tell you now to tell some certain colleagues that the role they're meant to take because you're on your set, you're going to be on set, they're not meant to take it for some certain reason. How do you handle that? I mean, the case of trying to turn blue to red.
Well, the truth is we were brought up to know that the director is a demigod, right? And you must be able to approach the director with a lot of reverence, because if not, the director can make or mar you. That's how we looked at directors then. I'll give you an instance. On a set of Battle of Musanga, we left Lagos onwards to Ohofia, where we're going to shoot the movie. I was decasted from Onisha. For whatever reason, the director felt that I did something wrong. I didn't even know he was the director. And before I could say Jack, he said to them, it's either Uche leaves, it's either this guy leaves or he leaves.
Whoa. And how did you relate to that?
How will you relate to it? The owner of the person who was paying the director needed the director more than he needed you. And I had to be sorted, and I left. So you see, then again, having said that, too, because I'm bearded right now, I could see the character like this, but the director might not see the character like this and would tell me that I have to skin everything off.
How do you cope with that? Do you get extra pay for that?
Well, as you ought to, you know, but sometimes you may never. You may never. And when you say you get extra pay for that, again, how much will you get for it? Because it could be somebody who has allergy for shaving that once he shaves, he's going to have extra problems. How much would they pay you to take care of that effect that you're going to have, that inconvenience that you're going to have for shaving? Do you understand? So some of these things you can't really put a price to it. You know, there are sets where I used to smoke when I was younger and all that. There are sets where you could be and the director will insist that your character has to smoke. What you do is you try a little bit of moving, to find a way to move from the left to the right to balance, to see if you can negotiate it and say to the director, this is my interpretation about this. Because for some of the directors we have these days who are well tutored and who understands it, looking at it from not just 3 dimension, even 5 dimension, will also know that you don't have to be particular, you don't have to exhibit some particular characteristics to be able to play a particular role. Like take for example, when we're growing up as actors and all that, you could see that for you to express anger, you have to squeeze your face, you have to either cry or that. But these days you find out that there's so many ways you can express anger and shock without even doing these things that is conventional. Do you understand? Because we differ, as we differ, so our reaction towards things are. The things that will make you scream might make another person start laughing, just laughing out of proportion. The thing that will make that other person start laughing out of proportion might also make another person start crying. So it depends on, first and foremost, yourself as an actor, knowing your craft, understanding your script, understanding the vision. Then if you understand it very well, you'll be able to explain to a director nicely, quietly, just the two of you aside, how you think your character, what you see in your character. And sometimes the director is also a human being. It's not rocket science. It's not cast on stone. You may be able to, because it's a teamwork. At the end of the day, it's a director's picture. But it's a teamwork. It's everybody's work. Everybody is involved. So a good director that understands that will listen to his actors.
Okay. That brings me to the next question, right? How would you say production back then and now has really evolved?
Oh, a whole lot. You know, because we're talking about
could you give us some instances, some of the things, equipment, materials, how it is really
Yeah, I was gonna go there. First, when we started with Betamax. From Betamax, we went to Umatic. From Umatic, we came to probably where we are right now. I think it must have evolved over two steps again that I can't really remember right now. Now, we're talking about that. We're also talking about lights. We're talking about situations where then we used to have heavy lights that are burning your skins off. I mean, totally burning you off. Without filters, and they have to be on you.
So you sweat a lot? Is that what you're trying to say?
Are you talking about sweating? I said they are burning you off. You're talking about sweating. Just sweat now. You sweat. I'm talking about burning your first layer of skin off.
Damn!
I'll give you an instance. There's a scene where I have a scar on my tummy right now. There's a scene where it was supposed to be a robbery scene where I was attacked by robbers and I was shot. You don't need to, you don't want to know how we mimed those gunshots that we get those days. You know the knockout.
I'm coming to that.
You know where you cut out explosive and tie rubber on your stomach or the part where you be shot, and they put the explosive there, and they frame the shot, freeze, and somebody uses a cigarette light and light those explosives on your body.
Whoa!
And the next thing, you get a cutaway of the gun shooting with the same explosive tied on the side mouth of the gun, painted black without you noticing it, and it's littered. As soon as the camera opens, it catches that, it reverses, it catches you reacting to it. This time around, the thing is exploding on your body. And behold, this one lost track of where it should explode and exploded on my bare body.
Oh my God.
I'm not talking about, there's no insurance, nothing. And babe, as I'm talking to you, when that happened, bring water, pour it on it, and do this one. Before we know it, that was it. We continue shooting another scene.
Me, I'm done for production, no.
I lost a friend of mine, a young friend of mine, late Metwin Peppo. What was he doing? He was supposed to be one of the guys that was supposed to rescue somebody that was thrown into the bank of River Niger. Metwin Peppo is a rivers boy and he swims like fish. He was casted for that role because of his efficiency with water. But as I speak to you, first take, Metwin Peppo did what he was supposed to do. Take one, he did what he's supposed to do. Take two, he did what he's supposed to do. Close up, action. Since we've been talking, Metwin Peppo did not appear again. That was the end of it. The mother did not see the body.
Oh my goodness.
And I can tell you authoritatively that I will bet you that the mother didn't even get even 500,000, not to talk about 1 million.
No insurance, nothing to compensate.
Did you say insurance? We didn't see insurance, not to talk about the ranks that is on top of it. My sister, I beg, leave matter for Matthias.
No. Um, I'm sorry about that.
It's all
I
right.
think I have to change the app now. Sorry. May God bless you. So
I mean, my brother is here, so he can tell you for the fact what I'm talking about.
please, oh, I'm begging, oh, when I'm coming to production, people should please do me well, oh.
No.
I
Things, things,
cannot
things,
stand
things,
those things, oh.
things are better off these days. No. Wow.
Because I'll just be
When
crying on set. I could be so emotional. I'll just be crying.
tell
I
you
will not be, the tears
what,
will not
let me
stop.
tell you something. I was on set with a colleague of mine, Weekends Delu, and she was supposed to slap my character. And for we, like my brother here, we were taught from knowing how we could do that slap, mime that slap, and it will sound very well without my hand touching your cheeks. But this girl looks at my face, she can't even raise her hand to slap me. At a point, I had to beg her, say, okay, slap me the slap. Man, this girl whacked me the slap.
And you saw stars.
The
You saw
slap,
stars or what?
But whether you like it or not, you have to react to it. I'm talking about these are things that could have destroyed somebody's eardrum, but okay, it's a job. We keep going. you know. So it is what it is then.
So
It is what it was.
talking from these experiences, like I would really like to know some of these cinematic styles. You know, sometimes when you want to do Kishon, Jackie Chan,
Uh-huh.
what's the secret behind those scenes?
Oh no,
You just see
no,
that.
oh no, those things are choreographed. They are choreographed. There are effects people that do all those things. There are people that is their job. There are people that is their job. You understand?
You just like got one small boy has beaten like 10
Yeah,
people.
it's
And you know,
it's choreographed.
I used to, those days when you were doing how will I say it? Is it epic movie?
Yeah.
Those epic movies I used to tell those things. Those movies I don't joke with it. I watch those a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the skill behind some of this magic or this screen, whatever sound
No,
effects?
those are effects. We do green screen on those ones. Those are effects. You understand? You know. And I'm talking about these days. These things that you're talking about can even be shot inside a studio. Do you get me? But I'm talking about like when I was telling you about the Port of Life in Benin. I'm talking about standing on a major road, maybe somewhere around the Uselu area at 2 a.m., shooting in the middle of the road, in the middle of a dead road. I'm talking about shooting somewhere inside Ubeko area, in the middle of nowhere, in the forest, shooting at 2 a.m. in the night. No security, no. Just let's not talk about it, please. It's a whole lot.
Okay.
But tell you what,
Sorry,
we're having fun then, because to us, it's not like the world is not as bad as it is now then. So we're really like having fun. We're having fun, trust me.
Wait. As at that time, I would like to ask, I'm sorry I'm going personal. Like, if you have to play some of those roles now, would you do them?
You see, the truth is in pigeon, waiting they keep big man in a small thing.
God.
when you don't get money, you're going to behave yourself. You don't chop anyhow again. So I don't know if I can do it, but then we're still an actor, and we'll definitely do what it takes to get our picture and our stories close to what it ought to be like.
So, how would you say, being an actor, being a father, as a dad, how would you say it changed you, and did it affect your being a very active person in the industry? That one. The second part of the question is, back then, using movies, and now with the age, do you like to tell your stories now, or you like to do more productions?
Well, I got trained as a producer and a director by one of the best, Amaka Igwe, of blessed memory. Yes, and I tell you what, as an actor, which I am primarily, I like to act. And as a director, I'm an act director. You understand? I'm trained in such a way that to bring out the best from every craft, every actor that I meet, or every actor that I'm working with. So, yes, I like to tell my stories most of the time. I like to act other people's stories too. Then, talking about how this relates to my personal life as a father, as a family man, as a people's person, and all that, it's tough. Sometimes there are a lot of price that I have to pay for it because the me is no longer available. It is the Uche of them. I have to live in a certain way. I have to walk in a certain way. I have to talk in a certain way because there's a way that you perceive me. You find it difficult to relate to me that, oh, I probably will have a scar on my leg that I got out of being rascal when I was growing up, or I got out of learning how to drive a bicycle those days. Everybody wants to see me that perfect human being that is that cover from one cone. No, I'm still flesh and blood. I still have the things that I like to do. I still want to walk barefoot if I can afford to. I still want to possibly sit down, squat somewhere, and roast my own corn by a burning firewood.
In Nigeria or in Europe?
Wherever I see the firewood, now you know.
Yeah, no, yeah. You're not allowed. Like I think I don't know, but that brings me to the next question again. Like, how do you what's the Mr. Uchenna Odoputa, the commercial you? How do you combine it with your artistic integrity? Like these two parts from this last question. Like how can you?
The truth about it is that I don't get. The truth about it is that for me, by my training, I don't get it confused in my head. At every point in time, wherever I am, I understand what my call of duty there is, and I focus on it. But the only problem is the audience. Is the audience that begins to want to now doubt: is it the actor or is it the Uche? Because they find it difficult separating the actor from the main Uche. But for me, Uche, it's easy for me to move from acting and to my real life and to my commercial side and everything that I do. So I don't get it twisted. I already know where the mark is. When I finish acting, I drop my character and I move back to the normal me.
Could you please tell us one scenario where you got into a character and it was difficult for you to get out of that character? Can you remember a movie that put you in that character that it took months, weeks to get out of that?
There has never been anyone like that, trust me. Because I'm talking about back in the days where I could move from one set to the other within the space of 3 months. Do you understand? And I'm talking about in your hotel room, you have like 6 scripts you're reading, and you're shooting the one after the other. So the only way you could have done that very well is be able to finish one, pick out that character, then wear another character. I've never gotten it confused. I can tell you this fact. I've never. I don't know.
You've never been so emotional.
Well, maybe it's a special grace. I've never gotten confused in my head.
I mean, I don't mean the confusion part. I mean the emotional part that you feel like this story is telling you a particular thing that was once happened in your life.
Yeah, the emotional part, same thing. I just let it go. I get out of it because for me, it's a job. For me, it's like a message that I needed to preach. I preach it and I live it. That's it. I don't let it affect me.
Thank you. What would you say kept you relevant and influential all these years of acting?
I think one thing that I have that was going for me is that I was tutored very well from the beginning to be able to read my scripts very well. That is why, as a director today, the only thing that puts me off as an actor is that when I send you a script and the first thing you ask me, what role are you playing? You have not even read the script. You're particular about your role. So when I was growing up, or when I started as an actor, you're given a script to read. You don't even know what role you're playing until you even come on set. Is that bad? So now, what I have going for me is that what has given me the edge that I think I have is I try to read my script to understand first. I read 3 times. First time that I read, I understand the writer's vision. The second time is I begin to now read to understand the characters in the play. If I am told my character, I begin to read for character. I begin to ask myself, after reading the script, that I understand the story now. If I was watching this picture, what would I have wanted this person to be like? What would be my interpretation? What would be my expectations about this character? That helps me bring out the characterization that I think will be befitting for that role. That's it.
Wow, that means you must be so versatile.
I do my best.
Wow, that's beautiful. And I would like to ask, how do you choose the jobs? Like, how do you say, okay, this is the cast I want, and also when you want to tell the story, when you're acting, how do you get to choose the story or the film you decide to shoot?
Well, if you're asking me as a director, it's either I'm contracted to direct the movie and I read the script, and if I like it, yes, I go ahead and take it. But if I don't like it, I'd say I don't like it. If the script needs to be worked on, I advise them for them to work on it. But as an actor,
yeah,
when I'm given a script, I read the script and ask myself, is it worth it for me? There were times that we could just shoot anything and act any story. You know, it doesn't really matter to us where it ends up, what the story is talking all about and all that. For us, it was just number then. We're just trying to get numbers. But now, no way. I'm not going to do everything that everybody wants me to do. You get me? So I have to look at what is it talking about? What is the story? What is the mileage of the story all about? You know, how would that impact my own brand? You know, so those are the things that will help me decide if I want to do it or not.
So how long does it take you to shoot a cinema standard movie and just a regular movie, a regular film?
Well, there's no set time for it because it depends. It depends on what you have at your disposal. What I mean, what you have at your disposal, if you're a director, it depends on your craft, it depends on your actor, it depends on the equipment, it depends on the location, it depends on the weather, you know, because take, for example, you could plan to shoot for 1 month, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as the case may be, and out of that shoot period, half of it are exteriors, and the exteriors are exteriors that have to do with daylight and all that, and all of a sudden you come out for the whole next 1 week. Original plan, you know. It will obviously affect every other thing that you're doing, so you can't really say this is how long it's going to take you to do it. You know?
What would you say about there's some film language, some cinematic scenes in the modern age and now?
Say that again.
Some cinematic film language in the modern age and now. How would you compare those two?
Well, then, because we have technology that could do half of what you ought to do. All right, but then,
okay.
Like there are scenes where, like those scenes where I tell you about padding my body with explosive and all that.
Yes, sir.
Other you
I'm
could
hearing
achieve, other you could achieve right now with effects. There are softwares that you could use to achieve all that very easily, very easy. As a matter of fact, there are effects that you could use to get off my head from a horror movie, and my head will be on one side and my body will be on one side. Still talking, you know. But then it was difficult to quite achieve. We had to do a lot of things very tight, you know.
So that brings me to the next question, right? What do you feel concerning the should I say the input of the government in productions, film villages, and upgrading in the film industry?
I don't know about anything that the government is doing, trust me. Not to my knowledge. Not.
I mean, okay, let's keep that question. Let me not go deep in it.
Okay.
So, do you think films produced today, they're going globally? And if yes, how do they get the revenue generated as a producer?
Well, I think to answer that question, I'll say to you that our films are going quite farther than it used to be before. It's becoming internationally accepted all over the world, and it's in also high demand. You know, people are beginning to look out for African Nigerian content, and we have heavy brands like people that stream these movies that are not here to advertise any of them, and yeah, they buy some of these movies, and they have people who are agents in different parts of the world, and if you're opportune to broker that link, yeah, why not? Your films will be bought, and you make a lot of money. And there's also this cinema streaming and all that. Who, if your favorite too, if your film is accepted in the cinema, you also make a lot of revenue. We've heard about films that made a lot of money from cinema. You know, I wouldn't really would not want to start mentioning names here for obvious free adverts to anybody. You know, but yeah, films are beginning to be recognized internationally now. But then there also have to be high budgeted movies because these are not just every conventional stories that you expect that would hit that limelight, because we're talking about effects of light, we're talking about effects of equipment like cameras, we're talking about the manpower, we're talking about the technical hands and all that. So a lot of all this will cost a whole lot of money. And we're also talking about post-production, we're talking about color separation and sounds and all that. All that will cost a lot of money. And if you put in that kind of money with good acts, I'm positive that your chances are quite high of rolling in a lot of money.
Okay. And where do you see the film industry in the next 10 years?
As a matter of fact, at the rate we're going, we might be the next Hollywood.
Wow.
Because I make no excuse. The Western and the Americans are almost losing stories and content. That's why when you look these days, what you see in their movies are more like abstract stories. They don't have real proper story. So it's either is a lot of science fiction, a lot of robotics and all that. But talking about real core story, Africa still has the environment, we still have the actor, we still have the stories that are not told yet. So we might in the next 10 years become the next big thing in pictures.
So How do you think that? Do you see it going through normalized, should I say, normalized film settings? Are you looking at it in the aspect of the Netflix, the aspect of Prime TV, YouTube, like? I don't know.
That's where we're going to. And trust me, in the next couple of years, things that are bigger than what you have just mentioned, brands that are bigger than what you have just mentioned now, for us to syndicate films and distribute our pictures will come out.
Right. Okay.
Because I must tell you that there are so many young people who are working seriously these days to find an alternate to distribution.
So, would you like to tell us a bit of your highlights, like the biggest highlights when you started? That you're like, no, I want to take this thing serious. No, sorry, this is personal. I'm not going to take that. I will just pretend like I didn't see that part. Can I remove? Yeah. Sorry. From the audience, but I wouldn't like to question you on that.
Okay.
Because there are ethics to this.
Okay.
I believe I also have to respect your own privacy.
Okay.
So I won't ask that question. I just assume I didn't see it.
Okay.
Sorry. We can continue.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your question again? Sorry, before you interrupted.
The question is, what would you say was your greatest highlight in the movie industry? Like when you like, I'm going to take movie, acting is my thing, I'm going to do it. Was it after that blast in your stomach, that scar, is that scar in question giving you an energy?
No, I think it was when I and Amaki were connected, and I played a role in Rattlesnake, and also worked behind the scenes on Checkmate, and also acted in Checkmate, and from there rose to a unit director on Checkmate set. To Fuji House, in Fuji House, sorry, not Checkmate, in Fuji House. And I think meeting with Amaka was a turning point for me. It was a highlight. It was the biggest thing that made me to know that. And Amaka looking at me and saying to me that there's something about you. And that was it.
Oh, and it came at the right time, right? And what year was that?
I can't remember right now. I'm not very good with dates. Can't remember the date. So.
Sir, the questions I'm asking, I think I will free you for tonight. The questions are coming like that. Okay, before I let you go, what do you have to do?
Say again?
Producers. What would you like to say to some aspiring actors and producers?
What I would like to say to aspiring actors and producers is just believe in yourself. There's no shortcut to this business. Have an open mind to learn, to keep improving. Ask questions, and make sure you're here to better what has been told before, what has been done before. That's the only way you're going to create a lot of mark. Don't come with anger. Don't come with you need to fight somebody. Come to leave your own mark and better what has been there before you came. That's all I can say to them.
Really? Anyways, would you please tell us what's next on your table? I want to know what's cooking. Are you looking at epic movie? You know those village movies? I like it. I'm sorry. I like those movies.
Well, I have a couple of things that I'm working on now, both the epic that you're talking about for big pictures. We're also looking at some series because I like drama a lot and I like series a lot. So we're looking at scripts. There are some workshops that I'm going to that I've had already. Then I'm going to get a draft within the next couple of weeks to look into them and see what it's looking like. Then we'll go back to the drawing table. So I have writers that are working right now. Then fingers crossed, God keeping us alive. We're going to do great things.
Okay. This important part I've been wanting to ask. I want to ask it now. I don't want to say any other part, but this part here, the Ushe now. What is it about this Ushe now Daughters Foundation?
Yeah. Okay, it's about
yeah.
You know, for some of us, one of the things that actually has kept me awake sometimes is the rate of poverty around where we come from, the rate of medical attention to health, the rate of uneducated people around our neighborhood at times. And trust me, I think this is where the government has really failed us, and that is why we have a lot of crime these days. Because when others eat and the others do not eat, and they rub it on the others that are not eating, there's bound to be envy, jealousy, and hatred. And the resultant effect of that is that those ones that are hating will become monsters overnight, and they will become daredevils, and they want to do anything, and they don't care because they don't have anything to lose. They're already on the ground, so what is there to lose anymore? So having thought about this, and I realize that it doesn't have to be just the government alone. For some of us, we can decide to be saving £1, 1,000 naira every week or every month, and keep it aside and say, as you spend Christmas, why don't you look around? There are some less privileged people around you that you can help. Either pay somebody's school fees. You may not be able to give a scholarship, but you might pay a section, or either give books, or either bring a medical team and do an outreach where you come from or in some other places, or team up with other people who have charity organizations to, if they have a budget of 100,000 for what they want to do, if you can bring 20,000 and add to it, it doesn't matter if your name is on it or not. But what you know is that in your mind, you have satisfied humanity. You have touched a life. So that's what gave birth to it. And again, too, beyond that, another thing that made me start doing what I do now as Spiritual Doctor Foundation is, I just thought about it that if we continue at the rates we're going, someday we'll just end up like one Solomon Gandhi, who was born on a particular day, grew up on a particular day, and obviously died on a particular day without no history. So my mindset is, what would somebody someday say about Uche? And like for me, the greatest of the achievement that I want to achieve on earth is that let somebody say behind me that my life turned around 360 to the positive because Uche had a word with me. I may not give you money, I may not give you hope, but I might just tell you to say, listen, it is not over yet, and it can still be better. And I'm sure that if I say it nicely to somebody, out of 10, out of 8, out of those people that I talk to, maybe 2 will be able to, that word will be able to minister to the people, and their life will turn around. That's my prayer, and that's my wish. So that's how Uche Doctor Foundation started, and that's the aim of it. Our slogan and our rider will say, let's join hands and make this, and see if we can make the world a better place. We just want to see. We're not saying we will. We just want to see if we can make the world a better place.
So, you didn't know, did you mention your mentor that I forgot the name?
Well, I have 2 mentors, people who have mentored me. First was the man called Okechukwu Ogunjafo, Polycarp Okechukwu Ogunjafo. He's now known as Evangelist Polycarp Okechukwu Ogunjafo. He is the man who wrote and produced the first film called Living in Bondage. And he also played the role Polo. He played the role Polo in Living in Bondage. that's the man who God used him to bring me into the industry first and foremost. So my history cannot be complete without me talking about him. That would be very unfair. Then after that, the woman who now fashioned the person that you're seeing today, this craft that you're seeing today as Uche Odopota, is Amaka Igwe. Yeah.
So, would you say these people's imperfection is still living in you?
What
from time to time?
What they do in me, what they have left in me is that somebody like Amaka Igwe, for example, who trained me as a producer, then as a director, when I'm directing pictures, Amaka calls me, the way he calls me is Odopota. I still hear her name sometimes when I'm sitting on a director's seat, and I wouldn't know that that's an error that I'm performing until I hear in my voice. Nobody in my head, nobody will hear it. Or I will hear her shout, Odopota, who taught you this? I still hear her voice till tomorrow, and I say that to you with all honesty. You know, so
wow.
Yes, she left a lot of mark in me. She a lot of impact she did in me. Yes.
May I please ask this question?
I thought about 10 minutes ago you said that was the last question you're going to ask me.
Some things are just stuttering, like coming in. Like I'm just, should I ask? Should I not ask?
Go on.
Well, I'm just making sure they're not personal questions.
Go on. Yeah, go on.
So the last question I will ask, and I'll let you go. Let me release you. This has to. I need to let you eat this food in front of people. It gets cold.
Okay.
So, the question is, what do you feel like in the coming productions, like you, or in the movie industry, in the film industry, what you like to change personally, or what you like to see change?
What I'd like to see change is nothing more but distribution. I want to, and distribution is that I need more corporate bodies who their business is going to just be, Uche, finish your movie and bring it, we'll distribute it. Because
film companies.
Yes. Yeah, because what we now have is that most times you're the producer, you're even the script writer, you're the director, you're the casting director, and you also go ahead and begin to look for where to pitch your pictures to, how to get return on investment. And these are probably movies that you took loan from, or you borrowed from town meeting, or you borrowed from friends and all that. Then at the end of the $1 million question that some of us who are directors today cannot answer is, when you're sourcing for money and they ask you what is the return on investment? You find it difficult to say. Most of us can't even answer that question because we were only forecasting. Because we're not professional distributors. We're content providers. We're not distributors. So one thing I want to change tomorrow is we need to have proper structured distributors. We need to have proper structured distributors to be able to take our project and fly with it while we can go to rest and just produce.
Thank you.
The pleasure.
I don't know. Don Chris, do you have a question? Chrissy? Okay.
I'm here.
Do you have a question?
I just left you guys to do what is needed, you know.
Yeah, do you have a question? Because we wrapped up.
Nothing much actually. I enjoyed the interview you're having with him, and it's my pleasure meeting him in person through this interview.
Thank you.
I would say it's been a long time we have been watching you on TV, but seeing you in person on the same screen with me is a pleasure, sir.
Thank you. I appreciate it, sir.
Because if I remember, even after leaving the country, but I still watch you through the movie. So
that's beautiful.
Sorry, where are you joining us from anyway?
I'm in Paris.
Oh, Paris. Okay.
Yeah. So
Good to
that's
have
why
you.
I really when I saw you or when I saw your poster, she putting you on the poster. I asked her how to repost it on my wall.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So,
You know, someone said, "You mean Uncle Odoputa?" Yes, yes, and they turned up. You see, you got fans.
no.
Give us more jet. Give us more. We want
Thank God.
more.
Thank God. Thank God.
Anyhow it will go, but I would love anytime I come to Nigeria to see if I can have anything to do with Nigeria Nollywood.
Thank you for all online. Hey,
You see what?
you want to work with him indirectly.
Yeah, of course. You know,
say it with your chest.
I believe this guy that came from America is going far in Nigeria right now, in Nigerian whether skits or anything. I'm seeing him. So when I look at him, I say, this guy, he's making more money even in that Nollywood than what he made in America.
Yeah, sure.
Really?
Yeah, of course. You think it's a joke?
Sure.
When you shoot a video, you put it on a wall. They pay you for the content too.
Yes,
you know. So that was why I had a second thought when I saw you. I said, you will be as a veteran on the Nollywood industry. We know you.
A legend.
A legend, not just a.
I'm honored. I'm honored. Thanks.
Let me give you that follow fast before I just follow you, sir.
I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Don't mind me. I on my camera today. I don't actually on my camera even when I join a live video.
Okay. Thank you.
I just
He's
want to talk to.
been pushing the flyer. He's been pushing the flyer.
No, don't worry about that one. At least it's somebody I really appreciate in the Nollywood industry, and I love his movie.
But anytime I'm coming to Paris, I'll let you know so that you can host me.
No problem. It will be a pleasure.
Really?
It will be a blessing.
Is it those epic movies? Those one used to wear those.
Attires. All those attires. I really find it very interesting.
I was really one of the Love Touch movies. I was thinking me a man in Beke. Now I see.
After you, there was another person, but his blessed memory right now, Samuloko.
Okay.
That's
Uncle Sam.
Now, man, make people laugh. Don't be smarty.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So it pains us when I heard that Samuloko was late.
Yeah.
And I was not in Nigeria then, so
a lot of people have gone.
That's what we call life.
So you will not go on time. You will leave one.
Leave your good. That's why you know it's good to say leave your good memory down so that your children will benefit from it.
Man,
that's it. Well done, sir.
All right, cheers, brother.
Thank you very much for having this time for us.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, legend.
So,
your food is cold already.
Is anybody asking any other question, or should I go?
No, it's fine. I think you answered everything rightly.
Thank you.
And Linz boy, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye. All right. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you. I do appreciate
it. The other guy you added, I really like that guy too. But
don't worry, I will make it. Okay, he's a popular demand. People have been asking for him as well.
He's a big guy, I think, right?
Yes, he's your uncle from another mother.
From my mother's side. But I was one of
from another mother.
I was one of brother.
Okay.
So that's it.
We'll see what we can do about that. But you're not just the only one asking of him to be on this session, on this live session.
Why did he leave us? That's what I was saying.
I think his network was fluctuating. Well, I'm just going to
talk to him.
See what's up. Yeah, I'll talk to him after now. He
no
just
problem.
came to support.
That's nice. That's nice. At least seeing the faces on the screen was very interesting. These are old school legends.
Honestly, may God bless them and keep them longer for us in Jesus' name.
Amen.
It's not easy.
Seeing them is a big thing to the Nollywood industry. How it started.
Honestly, you can say it again.
So no problem.
All right.
If you
Thank you so much.
conclude, you
Thank
can
you.
conclude. So
I'll send you a message.
no wahala now.
All right.
We are together.
Thank you, guys. Yeah. Hello?